Round 5 of the 2021 Formula One season calendar is done and dusted. The Monaco Grand Prix is completed, and Max Verstappen has not only won this race but also for the first time in his career taken the lead in the Drivers' Championship. A strong showing by the Red Bull Racing team, by both the drivers, Max Verstappen finishing in P1 and Sergio Perez finishing in P4, meant that Red Bull Racing also started to lead the constructors championship only by a single point over Mercedes AMG Petronas. Now coming back to the race, it started off with a big heartbreak for pole sitter Charles Leclerc, who on the way to the grid to start his formation lap lost his gearbox and could never recover from that point on. Remember, he had a big off towards the end of Q3 on Saturday, but after the incident, Ferrari had confirmed that the gearbox was fine and he will be taking part in the race and starting from pole. But it wasn't to be for the Monegasque, and his wretched luck when it comes to Monaco continues. Max Verstappen, starting in P2, effectively was P1, although he did not take the P1 grid slot because that is not what you're allowed to do. Race director Michael Massey confirmed that the grid remains as it is. So Max Verstappen in P2 had a clear run into the first turn, and from there on out, it was no looking back for him. Now, another very interesting thing about this particular race. Now, Monaco is a track where you do not get to overtake easily. It is a proper tight street circuit with not a lot of long straights, which might just help the drivers with the DRS and overtaking opportunities. So there was little or no overtaking opportunities throughout this race. So it came down to the strategies of the teams to decide this particular race. Going into the round of pit stops, a number of teams had thought that the undercut would be powerful. Even the viewers sitting at home thinking that the drivers stuck behind slower cars in front of them would want to pit one lap earlier from them to effectively get the jump on them. That wasn't the case. Surprisingly enough, the overcut was much more powerful than the undercut on this track. Case in point, Lewis Hamilton. He tried to undercut Pierre Gasly but came out behind him. For the overcut, case in point, we gotta look at Sebastian Vettel. He not only jumped Lewis Hamilton but also jumped Pierre Gasly after pitting 2 laps later than these two did. Now, apart from these three drivers, there was one other very big case for overcut, and that was Sergio Perez. He was stuck way behind in P9 when the drivers went in for the round of pit stops. By the time he went in and he came out, he was in an impressive P4, jumping 5 places from his eventual starting position. Now, one of those was obviously courtesy Charles Leclerc, and the second one was courtesy Valtteri Bottas retiring from the race. Now, his was another unfortunate race at that one. He was just keeping pace with Valtteri Bottas, with Max Verstappen up until that point, just remaining in those 1 to 2 second range just behind Max Verstappen. It would have been an interesting one when the strategies would have eventually played out, but once Bottas came into the pits to put on a set of hard tires, his front right would just not come out, and it meant that he had to retire in the pit lane. Heartbreak from him. He needs a lot of luck, man. He has had his fair share, more than his fair share of bad luck throughout this championship, and he needs something to go his way. He has lost out P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Lando Norris has overtaken him in that race. Courtesy of him finishing on the podium in the Monaco Grand Prix, he is now third in the Drivers' Championship. Carlos Sainz, an impressive P2, just reiterating the fact that Ferrari did have pace around the streets of Monte Carlo, and if Charles Leclerc would have started the race, there could have been a potential victory for Ferrari in this race. Apart from that, Sebastian Vettel, a very impressive overcut, backed with some impressive race pace, just showed shades of the old Sebastian back in that Aston Martin, and he finished P5. Pierre Gasly, P6, did well to keep Hamilton off his gearbox, and Hamilton finishes in P7. A very humbling weekend for the Mercedes AMG Petronas. One driver not able to finish the race, the second driver in 7th place, meaning that they lose the lead in both the drivers and the Constructors' Championship. And now the Tiger has been bruised, and you can only expect one thing from these guys. In the next race, come Baku, these guys will be the ones to watch out for, because they have been battered and bruised, and there is nothing that they do better after such a performance, and that is winning. Now, P8, Lance Stroll, he started on the hard tyres and extended his first stint, just ensured him getting track position, and after that it is almost impossible to overtake in Monaco. Esteban Ocon again outdoing Fernando Alonso in that Alpine car, ensuring he also returns with a couple of points. Antonio Giovinazzi finishing in P10 rounds off the top 10 for the Monaco Grand Prix 2021. Now, not one of the most exciting races at that, because not a lot of track overtaking was being done. Monaco is over, 5 rounds over, and the season is just building up to that point where something's got to give. Mercedes, Red Bull taking punch after the other. Ferrari, McLaren also fighting very hard for P3 in the Constructors' Championship. And now we go to yet another street circuit, albeit this is going to be a very fast street circuit. A lot of overtaking can be done on this circuit. We're going to Azerbaijan, to the Baku circuit for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix 2021, round number 6. A week's break, and we come back after that with round number 6.